Hello, my name is Arielle Reid in Budapest, Hungary, and today I'm going to give you 10 reasons why you should vote. And reason number 10 is that democracy is a participatory sport. So if there are no players, the game can't go on. Democracy as a system requires that people vote and participate in actively building the system. Otherwise, if nobody participates in the system, then democracy stops being democratic and becomes something of a tyranny or an oligarchy. And we wouldn't really want that now, would we? Number 9 is that voting is a civic duty. Now, as members of a democratic society, in preserving that democratic society, it is your civic responsibility to vote. Number 8 has to do with representation. Now, given that members of minority communities, women, and other marginalized social groups have fought really hard for the right to vote, it seems kind of silly to throw that opportunity out the window just because. Number 7, every vote counts. Now, when people say that my vote doesn't matter or that such and such is going to win anyway, that's not necessarily true. There are countless historical examples of where a handful of votes have made the difference between victory and defeat for any given candidate. Number 6 is every vote counts too. Now, what many people don't know is that analysts get paid lots of money to look at the voting results when they come in. Every vote, every ballot, everything is counted. So even if you spoil your ballot by writing a message like, "I don't like any of the candidates," analysts will eventually go through every single ballot and record the ones that were yes, record the ones that were no, and also record the ones that were spoiled, and record why they were spoiled. So if you want to make a statement about the candidates or the system itself, even in spoiling your ballot, you send a message to your elected officials. Number 5 is possible change versus status quo. Do you like the way things are? Vote for the way things are. Do you like things to change? Vote for change. Elections are one of the few times where citizens can either radically change the system or prevent radical changes from the system, to the system rather. Number 4 is that voting is a direct mode of political action. If you're not really sure how to get involved in your community and not really sure how to express yourself, well, voting gives you that opportunity. Number 3 is that voting is easy to do. Voting doesn't take a lot of time and doesn't take a lot of energy. In order to vote, most countries require that you register, and registration is sometimes done online. So from the comfort of your home, you can register to vote, and on voting day, go out to the polls and cast your ballot. In some countries, there are advanced polls, which means that if you can't make it out on polling day, you can vote in advance. You should check with your federal, municipal, or provincial authorities to see whether your area has advanced polling. Number 2, municipal, provincial, and federal. Government works as a cohesive whole. So if you vote in the federal elections but don't vote in your local or municipal elections, there's no guarantee that you'll have parties or politicians who agree with your vision of things or will work towards the goals that you want to see work towards. By voting in all levels of government, you ensure that your policy preferences, that your opinions, and that your choices are reflected in all levels of the government, leading to a cohesive whole. Finally, voting gives you an opportunity to balance powers. Now, if, as in some countries, politics is dominated by 2 big parties or 2 big factions, and you're displeased with the situation, voting gives you an opportunity to balance that power. If you're in a political situation where politics is dominated by 2 parties or 2 factions or 2 of the general same faces floating around, what you can do is vote for a 3rd option and totally and completely change the balance of power, thus changing the face of politics.